to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay. Good day, my friend.
Peace be with you.
Yeah, and also with you.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well. You?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm good. Just making my way through the week. I feel like I haven't stopped in a while. I've just been so busy with, I don't know, like, usually I don't have, there's not much I watch. I don't like many things on TV, but I've really gotten into the Olympics, and so I find myself just like, oh man,
Devoting a lot of time to that?
Yeah, too much time probably, but it's been fun. But anyway, how about you? Anything new?
You know,
exciting?
You mentioned the Olympics. Does it seem like there's a lot of fails in this Olympics? Or
you mean for Team USA? Yeah. I think people are not happy with the overall.
You had the ice dancing issues last night.
Yeah. The wipeout. You don't see many of those in ice dancing. Figure skating, plenty of them will wipe out.
Going for a triple Lindy, you miss it.
Yeah, quadruple toe loop, whatever that is. But yeah, vicious wipeout. Oh, they had a great routine going too. Oh, that's got to just be. You got to just want to hang yourself. I hope they don't, but.
Yeah, you know,
working all that time.
Oh man, you work for that moment, and then you come up short in that moment. There's an argument to be. I'm not going to go there.
What?
Well,
what?
Go ahead. I've been thinking. Everybody lauds these Olympians and so forth, and oh my God, what heroes and this and that. And It's great to see representatives of the USA, and you never root against them, obviously. But does a part of you think, man, kind of losers?
Ooh. Yeah, not at all for me, but that doesn't shock me that you would. Not for a second. I don't think that. But
do you mean because they're dedicating their entire existence to this 3 minutes?
Yeah.
So every 4 years.
And I know that some of them have very lucrative deals on the horizon, and they have a great future ahead of them, and it's a stepping stone.
One curler.
That's what I'm about to say.
But a lot of them have jobs, though. They have regular jobs. The curlers have.
I know. I'm just saying, is there an argument that can be made?
I feel yes.
Kind of like a.
There is, but I feel like
loser isn't the right word. Just devoting to a dead end cause.
Most human beings want to be like this.
God, I hate ambition.
This need of maybe wanting to do something, be a part of something.
I knew that would be a.
I know.
Unorthodox view.
Here's what I'll say about it: if you dedicate your life to something that has no chance of paying off in the end,
well, what's paying off?
Yeah, that's a great point, E.
What
doesn't have to be monetary.
Well, I'm thinking like if you're in figure skating, if you're in one of these real sports, like there's potential for advertising.
Yeah.
But honestly, curling is fun to watch, but
a person like E would argue the payoff is being the best of the best at whatever you do.
Yeah, I guess.
And you can travel the world. You get to be on the Olympics. You get to go to the opening
you're traveling the world by like raising money on your own by knocking on neighbors' doors.
Okay.
To earn the money. It's not like you're.
You cannot look at monetary value as the sole reason for doing that.
I would expect you to say the potential for a gold medal. I mean, having a gold medal would be so worth it. But yeah, some of those sports, like you look at ice dancing and figure skating and the skiing and the snowboarding. Those people are going to go on and make money forever. They're going to live off that forever.
That's my point, man.
Like a curler, though, it's like, can you name one world-class curler that you're like, well, yeah, it paid off. That guy has made. Boy, has he banked some money.
Yeah, so when that guy curls too hard or whatever it is, he screws up. Doesn't part of you just go, well, if you didn't devote your whole life to, scooting a little stone down the ice, then
But I don't think people are devoting their whole life to curling, by the way. Again, I heard them talk.
To be at that level, E?
But they have jobs.
So
I hear them talking.
You don't think it's a daily exercise? My God, man.
But they probably enjoy the fuck out of it.
Well, they do. I
love fucking bowling.
It's a beer drinking game. It's a beer drinking game.
I thought I'd present another side to it. That's all.
Well, actually, I'm not as against you now as I against Mike. I'm against Mike more than against you now.
Well, no, I just feel like if you're at that caliber an athlete, you shouldn't be working at Meyer on the weekends.
That's most people don't have jobs like that. Most people, that's a very lucky thing to be a part of something like. And by the way, I think with a lot of the other things, the luge or this or that,
The luges.
It can all just cycle. If you're really good, you can end up becoming a coach, and then whatever, and you train other luges.
I understand. There's always a stepping stone to something, right? As E's point.
Yeah, but E's point is flawed because
why? That next stone might not be very remarkable.
Well, okay,
might be very pedestrian.
How many champion lugists are there on Team America? Let's say you've got 3 teams. You got 6 guys. Now those 6 guys end their career, and he says,
on the team, but
to my own point,
the market is flooded with champion lugists.
Champion lugists are everywhere. There's only one head coach.
How many coaches do we need?
Now we're scrapping over one head coach gig. We've driven the salary down because you got 4 other guys lined up to take the gig for you. It's a flooded market.
I got to go to again if that's all. You're right. If you're just seeking monetary value of riches, then maybe not. But I think a lot of people don't choose to do things based on that. You yourself don't. Like I never wanted to do.
He takes the obvious, easy view on this one. Of course.
I don't.
I guess our point
think
is
out of the
more,
box a little bit.
If you're going to dedicate that much time and effort, at least have the possibility of a big, payday somewhere.
I'm glad to hear that other people are watching this going, oh, that guy's kind of a loser.
That's not what Mike said, for one. And I'm sure other people are watching like that, but you know what? Some people are watching fucking anything and saying that they're losers. I mean,
someone's watching this YouTube right now, looking at you going,
I know.
You're a loser.
I'm sure they are.
You mentioned jobs at Meyer a moment ago, Mike. Isis, I think you spent some time at a Meyer recently. We've not talked about that, man.
Yeah, what was that about, by the way?
I just wanted to do it.
What'd you want to do, E?
Me and my friend Burley had talked about this for back in the day, for just the idea of whether you could stay 24 hours in a Meyer.
That's creative.
It's not. I'm not the first to have done it. I'm not the first to have thought about it. But it's still
this seemed
something.
very stolen to me when I saw this stunt.
I know. I thought about it for 7 years. I guess. I don't know. But so what?
So how'd it go?
Made it 18 hours.
Oh
out
no,
of the 24.
he failed at a stolen bit.
I know.
Why didn't you just go take a nap in the betting section?
For one, I did not agree with taking a nap. I think that you should have to stay up the whole time. I do not agree with some of these people that have done it and taken naps. They hide. There's some people that hide in the toilet paper area. They make like
under piles.
They make a nest.
No
way. They'll make a fort in the back, and they'll just sleep at night.
Okay.
I don't think that should count. I think you should have to be up and about the whole time.
For your bit, for their bit.
Okay, well, for mine, I decided that I wanted to be up and about the whole time.
And you failed.
Yeah, it was. I did.
Fell a little short.
Did fall short.
What happened at the 18-hour mark that you tapped out?
Boredom, honestly. I was tired, but
can't you go back to where the radios are and just start rocking out a little bit or something?
I had stared at that shit long. At one point, I spent 2 hours just in the shoes, sitting on a bench, staring.
Dude, I texted him. I think I was in the land of the cleave, and I'm like, so did you make it, dude? Are you still there? What's going on? He's like, I left a couple hours ago. I spent the last 2 hours staring at shoes, and I couldn't handle it anymore.
I made 2 big mistakes, for sure. And one of them was, right out the bat, I got too excited. It's almost like an immature, marathoner just running out and doing a fast mile. I got right at the bat, boom, looking at shit, walking around.
Foolish.
Oh,
ridiculous. I should have
pace yourself.
I know.
You were at one point a pro period runner. You should know about pacing yourself.
I know. If I'd done it again, which I'm going to, because I will finish this. I'm not going to not finish this.
Going to finish this stolen bit.
I'm going to do it. I am going to complete this. But I should have walked right in and just sat in the cafeteria and just stared for hours. And then
or take a book or a magazine or something to eat. Are you not allowed to do that?
A book or here's
Why
the
would
problem.
you take it? They've got a book and magazine
That's what I
section.
mean. Go
well, here's the
one.
problem. I should have done that at the beginning.
Yes.
What happened is by the time
what is this staring? I should have gone here and stared.
Dude,
go grab a book.
Okay, I could have done that.
Hold on.
I made
this
a bad
bit
plan.
is so easy. I don't even think it's worth trying again.
Well, I'm going to.
There is so much shit to do in a Meyer.
No, there is not.
Dude, you could go grab a big wheel and start riding down the aisles. Grab a football and just be like any customer you see in the aisle. Just be like, dude, heads up, incoming. And now you're playing catch. Listen to some music. Do some dancing.
I don't want to get kicked out.
Watch some TV.
I will give him credit
if you do that.
I saw Gab showed me on Facebook that he was offering to buy people's groceries if they send him a list. That was a good idea. Send me a list. I'll buy them. I'll meet you out front.
Oh, yeah. Did anyone take you up on it?
No, I did have a few listeners that came by and walked around with me for a little bit, which was funny.
See, I'd be more impressed if he went to a 24-hour diner and had to stay there for 24 hours.
Maybe that's an idea. I don't know. I just wanted to do
24-hour
something. I had
gas
nothing
station.
to do, man. We had an extra day off that weekend, and I wanted.
Meyer's kind of big. It's too easy.
Yeah,
right?
It was
there's too
not
much shit to do.
There was not too much shit to do, dude. You say that.
Dude, they've got a holiday section. They've got a music section. They've got a computer section.
They have a
books
women's
and
underwear
magazines.
section. Did
could
you spend time there?
12 hours that you can spend in the panty
Did you
department.
sniff the panties?
12 hours easy.
You're
I
talking
could do
about
in the
riding
panty
around
department.
bikes and stuff. Dude, I'm 34. They're not going to let me just ride around bikes in a store.
Did you sniff the panties? Answer the question.
No, I
God
sniff the
damn you.
panties.
Jesus. I'd rather stare at shoes than hot, lacy underwear panties.
Does Meyer
Yeah, there's
have
real hot, lacy underwear
They have,
panties
like,
at
the
Meyer.
grandma
I
ones
don't know,
hanging there, right?
Whatever, but they're still there.
And the other thing I wish I would have done.
If I was you, I'd grab a handful of all the panties and then go into the changing room
There
and
you
try
go.
them all
Changing
on.
room. How much time did you spend in the changing room? You fool.
Try them on, take pictures of you in panties.
I don't
There's a
want
good
people
3
see-
hours in the
I don't want-
changing room.
But then eventually it's like, dude, the guy that I saw in the changing room for an hour is now staring at the tents, and
See,
it's 5 hours
I
ago.
think you have to take it to the limit such that you do get booted. If you fail, it's getting booted. It's not getting so bored that I have to leave. You didn't press this, man. You didn't push it to the limit, man.
Yeah, you failed miserably.
That's not I failed.
Oh,
I didn't even
Jesus.
want to talk about it because I said I failed. That's why I haven't brought it up because I knew I failed. It's something I wanted to do. I'm still gonna do it. The only other thing I would have done too is I would have
Did you
started.
Facebook Live while you were in there?
Yeah, a few times. I would have started. My thought was that I would start right in the morning because I'd be fresh. But then it was like I did all the shit, and now it was midnight, and now it's, I didn't have anything to do. So the hardest hours are going to be overnight. So when I do it the next time, I'm going to start at like 6 o'clock at night.
Did anyone approach you, like the plainclothes guys? Or
not once. And I didn't have anyone. In fact, I didn't have anyone approach me asking if I wanted help. I was in that store for 18 hours. I didn't have one person ask me if I needed help.
Wow, that is an indictment on the customer service of
that
Meyer.
sure is.
I mean, I didn't even have someone ask me if I needed anything.
Can you get Jay and I a layout of Meyer?
This one was a
before you do it
smaller.
again,
yeah.
we can kind of give you a game plan.
I will say this was a
Start
little
here.
smaller. I picked it though because I knew I might have some friends. Chubbs came up at one point for a little bit. Burley
Yeah.
came up at one point.
We could
for a little
map
bit.
out his 24 hours.
Oh,
It'd be
yeah.
so easy.
Spend an
I
hour
don't
here,
believe that
2 hours
I
here.
think that you don't understand that, but
Bathroom for 5 minutes, into the panties. We'll just keep going center
that
to
is
the
so
panties.
ridiculous.
Go to the panties for a half hour,
See,
sniff.
it's
Go to the
you know what?
panties, try on.
we
for
didn't
a
even have to
half hour.
talk about this. This is something I did for myself. So like, if I don't want to get kicked out, that's my goal. My thing is funnier to do longevity things and stay in some place. I don't think getting
But
kicked out.
wouldn't it have been better to ultimately
Yes,
get kicked out?
those
and
were
fail?
3 things.
Yes.
I had 3
dragged
things.
out, scruff the neck.
Yes.
I told you I had 3. I didn't say the other one. I had 3 things I would have done differently. One, I should have gotten a book, like you said, or whatever, right away, and read a book in the cafeteria for hours while it wouldn't have looked weird. You couldn't get away with that at 2 in the morning.
And
but
then track out the shift change, right? So you see the cafeteria people probably start wondering after a few hours, take a walk,
Right.
watch the shift change occur, go back
I did
for
a
few
poor
hours.
job when it came to that. I did poor with that. My other thing is I wish I would have started at night and get rid of those hard hours at the beginning of the time. And
Yeah,
the
when
other
no
thing
one's in there.
And the other thing I would have done again if I would have done it is I would have at the end just started walking in circles.
Did
until
you attempt
finally.
to help other customers?
No.
Oh, Jesus. There's a mountain of fun just going up to random people going, can I help you with something? Yeah, I'm looking for this. I'll be right back with it. And then never come back
A
again.
treasure trove of fun.
Never come back again.
I
She's
think
wondering
you
where
don't-
that nice gentleman went. He's gone.
It doesn't take long. There is like loss prevention and where it doesn't take. It only takes one asshole worker.
You had
to find-
no one approach you in 18 hours, dude.
I
I
know,
didn't even
but
think about loss prevention. He could have gone sorting through the lost and found some cool shit for himself.
What?
He's talking about plainclothes.
I'm talking about the people that walk around.
Well,
and,
it
like,
reminded
Stop
me of
shoplifting.
Yeah, it
Oh,
reminded me
whatever.
of
It was
lost
my
and found.
anyway. You know what? It was my thing anyway. So I didn't even. That's why I never even brought it up to you, and it was just on social networking.
All
so
right, that's probably why it
Jesus.
failed.
I failed.
Follow up.
I am going to do it again, but I.
Hey, your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. So call him today. Tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. 248-626-2000. Ask for our buddy Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Well put, E.
We mentioned the Olympics, and the Sibs did take home a bronze last night.
Good.
Yeah, good for them, right?
Got to keep up in that medal count
Is it
somehow, some way.
It's kind of weird, the whole brother-sister.
Yes, it's totally
I
weird.
know, okay.
Yeah.
They're dealing with that. I guess they've dealt with that for a long time. She was saying that, we we've had to fight back against all the doubters, and about their Asian descent, too. Like,
especially in skating, dude. Everybody's used to Asians representing Team USA. Give me a break, man.
Dude, I don't like this trend of Asian people trying to get into the hashtag Me Too environment, meaning like I'm a victim. Asian people are crushing it.
Yeah, kind of.
They are not victims. And so don't...
I will say this, however. I have an Asian sister, right?
Yeah.
Adopted from South Korea.
Very good.
When she was very wee.
Yes.
And, dude, I will say, and this, again, back decades ago, so this doesn't reflect where we are today, but we got a lot of stares, man.
Yeah.
Like, more than you would
you probably
think.
looked like you stole a baby. You know?
Maybe. He was out of concern for that poor stolen child.
What's up with that wee wisp of a child over there?
Oh, he really did. It was really odd to see how many people would just stare like, oh my God, like we're in a zoo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Asian.
Anytime someone sees something that's out of the ordinary, whether it's two guys holding hands or an Asian kid with a white family, it's something that's going to draw people's attention.
Maybe a
They're gonna
glance.
notice it.
You give a glance and then you conclude and you glance away.
people
but we
wouldn't
get
do the
get
whole-
whole tables, man, at
Really?
restaurants just staring at us. My brother would be like, check them out over there. And I'd look and they're just like,
Look at it.
going
I've
on
never
over
seen
there?
one of those.
it's white people plus an Asian.
They must have stole her. Wow. I don't know. I just noticed this a lot where it used to be like black people would bitch about discrimination, whether it was catching a cab or, being stared at when shopping in a store.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden brown people have been thrown into the mix. Like, Mexicans are the same. And we've done this divide whole thing,
Sure.
And then it's
Everybody
like,
cordon off
yeah.
who everyone is based on their skin color.
And then gays, and then when I see Asians trickling into it, I'm like, hold on,
You're killing it.
hold on. You guys are dominating everything you do. You have zero representation in Congress, zero, and you still have no problems. You're successful. You're smart. Your kids go on to great things. I don't want to. I just don't like that where it's like, oh, we've had to overcome our Asian descent. What?
I suppose.
And before you say it, I'm not talking about the Korean store owners. That's a different bag altogether. But these, I don't know. I get it if it's like we're siblings and people think it's weird. It is weird doing the huggy, like picking someone up by their ass and they're half exposed. And it is creepy. It's weird. I can't help but think of you and Weed doing that, or me and Kristen, or, it's just like, I wouldn't want to do that.
No.
Wouldn't want to do that. But for them, we're siblings. We're doing it our way. Hopefully other teams coming up after us, whether they are Asian or brother and sister, will believe it's actually possible.
Christy Yamaguchi, she was a very accomplished Asian figure skater.
When we teamed as siblings, it just felt natural and fun. For me, I thought I'd have more fun with Alex than if I was by myself. So anyway, they won the bronze in the free dance, in the figure skating ice dance free dance at the Winter Olympics. Good for them. For us, they always believed in themselves, embraced what made us different. We keep talking about it as people are always bringing it up. I didn't like this quote. I've always believed, whether it is figure skating or not, that diversity is really important. Sitting through an event and seeing the same story told over and over again, that is not good for sport. That is not entertaining for viewers at home.
That may be true. Good for sport.
The same story told over and over is basically white people, right? Isn't that what that means?
Reading between the lines,
I mean,
Mike. I think
we're
you're
saying, diversity is really important. Nobody likes the same story over and over. You mean like with every other country on the planet except America, where you know what the Chinese team looks like. You know what I mean?
You know what the Russian team looks like.
You know what the Japanese team looks like, or the German team. The American team, it looks like a melting pot of the world.
Well put, Mike.
Doesn't it?
Coin that?
I did. I should.
Melting pot. Wow, a melting pot.
A melting pot of the world. So anyway, having a different point of view because we're coming from different places is something we have embraced. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I like that they came out to Paradise by Coldplay. I think that's a good call. I would go out with just a popular-ass song with a big hook.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of shit on Twitter the other night, like Disturbed, Sound of Silence. They're like, am I watching the Olympics? Disturbed? Oh, my God.
It's a great song and a great version. God,
Yeah, it
that
is.
guy sings his ass off on that song. Oh, singing. He looks almost devilish. And just hearing that.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to romp with you again.
Yeah, it's pretty evil.
And la 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 la. Left their seeds when I was sleeping. Well, written on the horror halls in something halls. Tiananmen?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It's a great song, and the guy kills it. So I don't. The other thing was it got really tight. I love these where it's like 1/10 of a point off each other, and there were a few Americans in the running. Of course, Tessa. It was Scott Tessa and Moya and Tessa, the Canadian dancers. They ended up winning it. Nip Slip took second. They crushed it, set a new world record, and then Scott and Tessa ended up beating that.
Well, you saw the face sit during that routine, right? I think it was the final element.
Really?
Where they did this crazy thing, and she just ended up sitting on his face.
I love it.
For like 2 seconds.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Unreal, man.
Yeah, they're great, man. They really are. So they took the gold, but then that Chalk and Bates American team, and you just don't see many people
bite it this hard in
it's
ice dance.
In ice dance, yeah,
it's slippery,
It's true, but there's not a lot of quadruple jumps and triple. It's very graceful and it's dancing, and so when you see a skate catch the ice, and boom,
it's a reminder, Mike.
Oh, it's just they were the only ones to wipe out, and they ended up finishing ninth, but they were right there. That's something that'll eat you forever. Forever.
So again, I'm not saying losers, but they weren't winners.
Difference between taking a bronze medal. You just got to get a medal.
Sucks balls.
Dude, to go there and be like, I came in 4th, 5th, 9th. Ugh.
Oh, man.
I'm 9th best in the world. No, you got to have something. Look what I got.
Well, there's only 3 people to get each of these, and there's a bunch of people.
I know. I'm just saying it sucks.
You're right there.
I'm not saying it's a waste of your time, but...
You know what doesn't suck, Mike?
What's that?
DealsInTheD.com. During ZOT M59 Chrysler Jeep and ZOT M59 Dodge Ram President's Day event, you get choices. Lease a new 18 Dodge Journey all-wheel drive, or a new 18 Dodge Charger, or a new 18 Jeep Compass, both all-wheel drive. Your choice, just $199 a month. No need to call, email, or fax them. Just head to ZOT Chrysler Jeep or ZOT Dodge Ram. Get your fresh new 4x4 for $199 a month, only from DealsInTheD.com.
Hey, did you like Fergie's response to the
I did actually.
Backlash she got?
Yeah, I went for it. I'm a risk taker. I kind of failed on that one.
Tried my best.
Yeah.
Anytime someone goes, I tried my best, you're like, oh man, that's all we can ask of you is to try your best.
Well, here's the other thing, though. It was sung well. It just was the style of it was so weird.
Part to me when I first heard the clip, I was
she's really good. You can't deny that she's a good
Absolutely.
performer and a good singer. It's just it was very odd.
I didn't know. I couldn't tell
style.
if she wrote this herself, this statement, or if this was written, because I think it's really well done. I think it's the perfect statement to throw out there for this.
Fergalicious.
Fergalicious is getting slaughtered for her rendition of the anthem. Some think it's disrespectful. Some just laughed at it.
Oh, Ferguson.
I've always been honored and proud to perform the national anthem, and last night I wanted to try something special for the NBA. I'm a risk taker artistically, but clearly this rendition didn't strike the intended tone. I love this country, and honestly, I try my best. I try my best out there.
Well put.
It is, and throwing in the I love my country to say, look, I wasn't trying to disrespect this shit at all. I think it's a home run. I think it is.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's how you handle that.
Good way to do it. Yeah, instead of ignoring it or
fighting with people about it. Screw you. You know, I put a lot of time into this.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go. Act like a prima donna about it. You just go, okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best choice,
Wasn't the best. I thought it would hit. It didn't. We're learning more and more and more about old Nicholas Cruz each day.
Bastard.
Yeah. He's been charged with 17 counts of murder. He plans to plead guilty if they'll just take death penalty off the table. Now we're learning.
If you're this guy, why do you even take that off the table?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's because of the money that it costs to do the trial. If you can save the money.
No, I'm saying, if you're Nicholas, dude, you just shot up 17 people. Really? You want to live the rest of your life behind bars as a total asshole pariah?
I'll never understand that.
Obviously, you were hopeless 2 days ago, enough that you'd go in and kill all these people.
Yeah.
I guess you had, some self-preservation aspect because you didn't put a bullet in your own head, but it's just why live, man?
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get an insanity thing. You're not going to be able to pull any of that shit, which is really hard to do anyways, but there's way too much meticulous detail that went into the planning of this to him to go in on that specific day wearing his ROTC gear that those kids would have been wearing that day, to knowing what time the guards would be occupied opening the gates to be able to sneak in, the fire alarm that they're kind of saying we don't know for sure. It might have been smoke that set those off, but all
Peter
of that.
Wang.
And then to ditch the guns and run out with the kids.
Sure.
And imagine that feeling. You're like mingling about. Like he went to, I guess I'll go to Subway and got himself a drink, and he sat there for 40 minutes. And then he goes over to McDonald's and he sat there for an hour. And then he's walking on the street and some cop just sees him and is like, is it possible that's the kid we're looking for? Is it possible? And just stopped and talked to him, admitted it immediately and laid down. And it's like, dude, you can't possibly think for a second that you're actually going to get away with that. Like, the people ID'd him in there. They knew who it was when he was in the building. So, to your point,
dude, what's your end game, man?
So instead of trying to make your way and meander through the world and existence, you're going to do this big thing and then just sit in a 6x9
That's what's so odd.
for eternity.
It shows
at
a
best.
level of careful planning, but not too careful, right?
Yeah.
'Cause there was no sort of, I guess he wanted to escape. He didn't want to kill himself, but he didn't have a plan to escape.
And usually that's their plan, right? Is to be either suicide by cop or
just martyr himself.
Kill as many people as I can,
then,
use
then
the last
go down
bullet
as
on
like,
me.
oh, I was bullied.
Yeah,
right. And that's what they'll play up. They'll try to play up bullying, and they'll play up the fact that his home life was so wrecked. And, I'm sure he grew up with a lot of pain in his life, but most people don't shoot up a school.
Yeah, and there's a lot. Can you imagine if every kid that had a shitty upbringing decided that the only justice was to go blow up their school? I mean, it's asinine. Kids have grown up with shitty existences for eternity.
Great example.
Yeah, perfect.
Sitting right next to you.
And most kids, not I would say, probably all at some point have turbulence. Even in the picture perfect existence, there's shitty aspects to it. It's just part of life. So, it sounds like he had a 10-gun arsenal, and 7 of those guns were bought legally. 3 of them were bought illegally. He bought an AK-47, which is the Kalashnikov style, the Russian Kalashnikov style. Federal law allows those 18 and over to buy rifles and cruise past background checks and everything. Less than a month ago, he passed all those background checks. The owner of Gun World in South Florida, Kim Waltuck, he purchased a shotgun and AK-47. He was not a regular of ours. He did purchase firearms, but not that AR-15.
All right.
Not the AR-15, not ours. She said, we went through the process, background checks, which is the only way we release a firearm. He was immediately approved. So I don't know what the answer is, but it's really disturbing. Like the fact that those people don't have access when they're doing the background check. Like if you look, like if they just had simple access to police records, not arrested, thrown in jail, just give me some background if there's been run-ins and you see 39 visits to the house for violence and violent tendencies and behavior, that should be enough.
You'd think that would be the next easy step in this whole handling of these issues, right? Let's link all this shit up, just like after 9/11 when the CIA and FBI weren't talking to each other.
Yeah.
Let's link shit up in our processes such that people have information available.
Because there's not a person in this country. I will go on record and say 100% of citizens in this country, if you gave them the information and said, okay, here's the story. We've got a 19-year-old who's been kicked out of school, has had nothing but problems. The police have been to his house for violent episodes 39 times over the last 7 years. He's coming into the gun store today to buy an AR-15. Do you sell it to him? Nobody would say, yeah. Every single person to a man would go, yeah, no, we're not selling to him. No, absolutely not. And so that seems like a very, very easy fix, for at least some of this stuff. Just something to be done.
Dude, Nicholas Cruz, seeing his face plastered everywhere, that stupid picture of him after his arrest, he might be a good subject for our new game. The Say Something Nice game, Mike?
Yeah.
And learn to say something nice. Think once, think twice. Just say something nice. That's right. Before you speak, turn the other cheek and say something nice. It should suffice just to say something nice.
Explain the rules, Mike.
Yeah, well,
They're simple.
this, I think there's a lot of monsters in the world. And we were thinking it'd be fun if we could, like, still, even with those people, you know, like your mom would say when you were a kid, like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, could we say something nice about even the biggest of monsters in society? And the reason I thought of this, and it's a horrible, horrible story, but the Rob Porter one, where they showed the girlfriend with the black eye, and they're like, oh, he gave her this black eye. And my, just, you know, sitting by myself, the thought popped in my head, well, at least he's still giving her stuff. I was like, well, at least I tried to say something nice about him, you know?
It
and
occurred, and then it occurred to you. Couldn't you say something nice about
say
everyone?
something nice about everyone. This guy's a perfect example.
He
because
is.
there's very little redeeming about him.
Well, there's something about his eyes, dude.
Dude,
you know?
yeah, there's
Lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eye.
like they're not though. It's in a weird way. Like if he had to take a mug shot, they would take his glasses off and the guys would be like
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Would they?
Yes.
yeah.
They would make me take my glasses off for a mugshot?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe they'd take another one with them on, but it would be one of those like, all right, turn your head, everybody, take the glasses off, son, and then hurry up, boom, take the picture.
God!
Oh God, put it back on. But you would see those beady, dark, shark-like eyes.
This guy's interesting because I'm conflicted on the eyes. The eyes almost have a kindness in them. They do, but
There's
then they have an
something-
evil too. It's
there's an
weird, dude.
evil in there.
It's like the shape of them. The almond shape is troubling to me.
Color is one I'm not familiar
Yes,
with.
the color's sort of orangey, but also green.
And yellowy.
Yeah.
It's like a...
It's werewolfian.
It's werewolfian almost.
I wonder, sir, has he been incarcerated during a full moon? And should
Ooh,
we?
it's a great
should
point.
we up the security?
I would say just to be safe. I mean, why take the risk? When is the next full moon? Do we
Jesus,
know?
bing it. But other than that, you know, I will say,
Troubled by the eyebrows.
I could say something nice about the eyebrows if pressed,
Really?
but that's not going to be my subject today.
Okay.
I have a different subject. Do you wanna try one, or you want me to?
Could I say something nice about Nicholas Cruz? In the end, he was able to give a week off to most, not all, but most of his former classmates. That's pretty cool, dude. He gave a week's off of school
That is.
to most, but not all, but most of his classmates.
Before you speak, turn the other cheek and say something nice is my advice.
Huh. Well, that's.
I mean, dude,
I'm
in
gonna give
Florida,
him-
he's not going to get snow days.
No, they're not.
I mean, this is an unexpected week off for a lot of kids.
I'm going to give him props on what many people might find abnormal, unappealing about him. His ears, dude.
What? The taxi cab nature? That's not a
Yes.
compliment.
Those large, forward-leaning audio perceptors. They may help him, perhaps sense a stealthy approach of a prison rapist or two.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, but
Nature's been good to him.
imagine the prison rapist that uses those as handlebars, though,
that's a
and
good
really
point.
dives
I'm not-
deep. Just fucking pow, pow,
Yeah.
hip thrusting, pow, deep, 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 because he's got a hold of those.
You know
those
he's been
ears.
ripped on about his ears, and I'll just say that nature's been good to him in that regard. I'm not saying he's a bat-eared fox or he's a black-tailed jackrabbit
Right.
in that regard, but that'd be crazy to say that. But I think, you know, if I have to say something nice, his ears. He's got good hearing, likely.
Okay. All right. I think that counts. Isis, can you say something nice about...
Before you speak, turn the other cheek and say something nice is my advice.
Isis Nicholas Cruz.
I'm going to go with, you know, we read all these stories about Twitter and outrage and stuff, and I got to say, he got rid of a few people that will never have to hear at some of these rallies, or none of them are going to be at a Trump rally. So I'm going to assume that I won't have to deal with a few less millennials now.
Oh, my.
Oh, Isis.
That is so offensive.
I think
He
he's
pared
missing,
down the
like,
population?
Yeah. Although, is it the end of the world to lose a few people? Oh, Isis, I don't know.
You know
man.
where I had one other thought, and it was going to be also that he gave the news show something to talk about. You know, I think the cycle had gone down a little bit. They needed something.
Yeah.
So
changed the subject.
There's a
sure.
few people. I don't like Mike always says. I don't care what they say. They're not happy about kids dying, but they're like, "Fuck, I'm sick of talking about blank. I don't care about this anymore."
True. He deflected that.
Yeah, but he's kind of kicked a hornet's nest though, and now we've got the kids are like busting to Washington today to urge Congress, and then they're all doing that thing where we lay in the streets as if we're dead
To represent a dead person.
I don't know if that affects anything, but
you see those abortion ones, where they put up all the crosses. That sort of puts into perspective, and they say like, these are the number of babies killed just in Metro Detroit during 2016 or whatever. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, but that I don't know. It
doesn't resonate with you.
Well, here's the thing: they've got their March for Life or something coming up on March 24th, where kids are expected to walk out of class and march against whatever. We're not going to have this anymore. And I was just like, that's a school day. What kid is going to want to, dude, no kid's going to want to walk out of class, out of a high school class on a school day?
I bet they have 100% participation.
You think so?
I do.
You think it's the one day in the history of man that nobody called in sick and...
History of people, Mike.
Yes. And attendance was 100%.
You like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
Sorry. So we'll see how that goes. But I imagine they will get, like you, 100% participation, which is great because it means that they all really, really care about this. It's not about a day off, but it's really about caring about this issue.
Gentlemen?
Douglas!
Gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, Dougie, Doug. What a great time to call Doug. Spring's right around the corner. Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life, but Douglas Steiner at Century 21 Campbell, he wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas today, 248-765-1781. Let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your real estate transaction dreams a reality. Call him, 248-765-1781. As for fellow DetroitCast listener Doug Steiner, he's a great supporter of the show. Give him a call today.
Safe to say that if you're a fan of this show and getting ready to buy and or sell a home and you don't call Douglas, are you an asshole? Are you an asshole?
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of a dick,
For
right?
sure.
All right.
Call Douglas.
Yeah. I noticed, I did see young Douglas jumped into the one of the fan groups yesterday, and he was just met with a wall of monsters, which is kind of the hazing that anyone goes through. And they're just throwing cum in his face, fucking with him. I mean, it was beautiful. It warmed my heart to see it.
Douglas can deal with it.
Well, it showed me that they were welcoming him into the team. You know what I mean? Like,
very nice of them.
Nobody gets into those groups unscathed.
Yeah.
They are ruthless assholes in there, and they will hit you hard. And it was nice to see them
really embrace him,
quickly pouncing on Douglas.
Yeah, call him, 248-765-1781.
I like these people that are thinking outside the box, Jay.
The box.
Outside the box. We got it from an emailer yesterday who was talking about buddy system
yeah.
for buying guns.
I've had several people email in suggesting that we close all schools. I've not had a good proposal as to what we do with all the kids and how we educate them, but that would take care of the problem.
Yeah.
It really would, 100%.
I like that
School
idea.
shootings. They'd stop.
And while the buddy system to buy guns was an absolute retarded idea,
It is not.
I appreciate him thinking outside the box. No, I know. Thinking outside the box. And I love this woman here who, this is kind of going viral now, but Katie Cornelis from Connecticut, she handed out doorstops to her two nieces. And
Like Peter Wang style doorstops?
No.
Good.
Like those, just like on an angle.
Oh.
Yeah. And this was after 27 people were killed in Newtown at Sandy Hook. And she said, in light of the recent shooting, she wanted to share this with all parents, adding, she always carries hers in her purse. It truly pained me when I handed it to them, and I didn't want to scare them, but it was out of love, and they understood. Sure, it's small, but it can be powerful in keeping you safe if you ever have to barricade yourself in a room. If a gunman shoots out the door lock, it will still keep the door from opening, and you may just buy yourself some time. I pray no one ever has to use it. Dude,
yeah, it just sticks in there, and yeah.
What is the harm in, like, Russ, throw this in your backpack. Just keep it there at all times. It's just there if you need it.
Yeah. Good
Throw on the
point.
bottom, and all of a sudden that
79-cent
day,
rubber doorstop.
exactly, could be because if that kid kicks the door in, if he just opens the door,
Yeah.
you are absolute sitting ducks.
And then if he's having trouble opening one door, he'll go
On
to
to
the
the next one.
He'll
On to
kill
the
your
next one.
schoolmates.
Yeah.
He won't kill you.
Imagine what a hero Russell is. Like Wang is a hero, but it cost him dearly. Russell could be that hero
I'm buying
with a-
doorstops.
with a friggin' 79-cent doorstop. Why not?
Going out today.
The other thing I
3
was thinking,
doorstops, please.
The other thing I was thinking, seriously, I think that's a brilliant idea. Shut the fucking door, doorstop in, now hide.
Yeah.
He's not going to waste 20 minutes trying to get that door down. He's
Yeah.
going to go on somewhere else. Life and death over 79 cents. What are we talking about? What are we doing here? The other thing I was thinking was, wouldn't it be cool if in these schools, when something happens and all of a sudden it's like you hear a gunman in the hallway, if a teacher can hit a button and all of a sudden, like from inside the wall, like in case of emergency, you don't see it, it's not there every day, but it just comes out like,
Yeah.
and there's your very own AR-15 that the teacher can then just, oh shit, yeah,
Brandish.
and then each teacher in each room grabs their gun and just
Then it's
points
on, baby.
Points it at the fucking door. Come on in, motherfucker. Come on in. And hopefully we never have to push the button.
Jesus, what's wrong with
I thought
that?
where that was going was that there'd be a few buttons somewhere maybe
That
in the
locks
print
the door?
that locks all the
That's
doors.
boring.
Like,
I think
that's
they
what I
have that
assume
already,
that's what
don't they?
You got to take this kid out, E. What are you talking about?
Can you
There's
imagine?
gonna be a
wander
thing
the
that just
halls?
All right,
comes
he's
out-
this. Next time you're in your 3rd, 8th grade,
You
and you're in
solved the
classroom,
problem.
At least
I
I'm
just
trying.
did. Lock the doors. Why do we need? Are you serious? AR-15s just coming down.
Fine, an AK-4, whatever. Dude.
I know a lot of teachers. I would not want that responsibility.
That's the
with.
thing, dude. You hear about a lot of people saying, let's arm the teachers. There are tons of teachers who are just not comfortable with guns and would not be okay with
Let
shit
me
like
place you, gentlemen. I'm placing you in a classroom, and you've got girls, it's you guys, and then some fucking old teacher. And he's coming down the hallway. Do you
Gross.
wish you had my magic button?
that. I do.
Do you? Because you push the button, there's nothing wrong. Mrs. Hampson is sitting in the corner shaking like a leaf with the gun. You go, Hampson, give me that fucking thing. Get out of the way. And then it's like, yeah, come on in. As soon as you see him, boom!
Boom, 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 boom.
You're like, yeah, there's gonna be a few casualties, maybe a clip a student's head, as you're trying to get to him, but it ends there.
Yeah.
I think my magic button is something we should look into. Each room has one.
Where are these? How many rooms are having them? Just as, I mean, does the gym have
All
one?
of them. Every room in a
bathrooms?
school. We'll
Yeah,
do.
he wants like the Star Wars style airlock or something like, these doors that come out of nowhere.
That's
what are you talking about,
realistic.
E?
That's realistic. We could do a GoFundMe in each county to raise enough to have our magic button
All
installed.
the jail cells are electronically just locked in place, shut.
Jesus, please.
Oh, he wants to make jails out of our schools.
Oh,
Real nice, E.
These are children.
Real welcoming.
I believe the children are our future, E.
Yeah,
It's clear
I do
you
too.
don't.
Yeah. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Show them all the beauty they
possess.
possess inside.
It'll give them a sense of pride,
will. Make it easier.
Sure.
I decided long ago
Never to walk in anyone's shadow.
And if I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe,
Hard to argue with that.
Apparently,
No matter what they take from me.
Not taking away my dignity.
Because the greatest love of all's inside of me.
I decided long ago. I choose my octave wisely there. Oh, speaking of horrible stories, those damn Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, local woman.
How do we...
Oh, the witnesses. The Jehovah's.
Would you excuse the witness, Your Honor? How do religions pull this off?
I don't know.
How-
Shame. This shame,
Dude,
right?
the shun.
Dude.
What's with the shunnery?
Shame is an effective tool.
Shame is. It's why we left the Catholic Church when I was young.
Yeah.
My mom got tired of the guilt trips.
Yeah.
Fuck that. She wasn't going to do that to her kids. Not saying she doesn't believe in a higher power. She was tired of the guilt and the shame associated with it. But the shunning aspect
Right.
seems to go against every principle
does,
you've heard in any religion. It goes against every part of it. And it's like, Scientologists get away with it tax-free.
Yep.
The witnesses are pulling this shit
Apparently.
too, tax-free. If you're going to take taxes off the table, you shouldn't be able to shun any. Shunnery should be off the table.
No shunnery.
None. Shunnery, no more. Lauren Stewart, 45-year-old mother, appears to have everything.
Harrison Township, was it? Or
Keego Harbor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Successful husband, 2 college-educated kids, a modeling portfolio, home in Keego Harbor. But friends say she struggled with the anguish of being ostracized from the religion that she and her husband had been raised in. And so about 5 years ago, she and her husband left the Jehovah's Witnesses, Christian denomination that has been criticized for its strict indoctrination and its practice of forever shunning members. Friends and others believe the struggle with being shunned may have driven her to do the unthinkable. She, last week, shot and killed her husband and her 2 adult children, and then herself. Family friend Joyce Taylor says the Stewarts left the religion more than 5 years ago because of doctrinal and social issues, and I loved what this woman did. According to her, when someone leaves the religion, a drastic shunning takes place. The shunnery is off the charts. No one inside the religion, even parents, are allowed to speak to the departed again.
Yeah, how do you explain that? How do you call yourself a religion of love and so forth?
Peace, love, acceptance.
Yeah. But if you leave,
yeah,
we're going to make your life hell.
It just goes so counter to everything that people are taught in religion. It's like, oh, that person's a whore. Get him out of here. It's like, dude, did you not read what Jesus was doing? That dude was hanging out with pros.
Didn't you get to the New Testament?
Come on, man. Jesus would rather hang out with hookers. I would too, to be honest with you. Jesus would rather hang out with poor drunkens and hookers and destitute. Like, that dude wanted to party.
Yeah.
He was hanging with those dudes. Don't you see the Pope washing homeless people's feet?
That's right.
Should teach you something. You don't shun. So she barged into the Kingdom Hall meeting in Union Lake over the weekend, stood on a chair, and started lambasting the Jehovah's. Excuse me, everyone. My name is Joyce Taylor. 2 days ago, 4 people died as a result of your shunning process. 5 years ago, you people pulled your support from this small family. And people at this point are like, okay. They're trying to get it. She's like, get out of here.
Slapping hands away.
People
slapping
away.
Witnesses.
Get out of here. You will not be a witness to this. And she just keeps screaming. You turned them away and you shunned them. For what? Because they wanted to raise their children as they saw fit. All they wanted to do was raise their family the way they wanted to. They were shunned every way possible. If Lauren went to the grocery store, they didn't look her in the eyes. When you are raised a Jehovah's Witness, they choose your friends. They choose who you associate with. And if you go against that, they will disfellowship you or shun you. Shame on you.
You want to pin it on something? Pin it on that.
Taylor last saw her friend a week before she was found dead. She says, I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm going to blame it on the shunnery.
Well, that's the thing, man. You got to be pretty certain if you're going to go yell at the witnesses, right?
Yeah, but it's a shitty practice anyways.
Sure.
And I don't mean to pin this just on the witnesses. The Tologists have been doing this for years, too.
Good point.
And it's bullshit. She worshipped Danny. Danny worshipped her. They were like hand in glove, but she was very concerned about Dan, who was prone to depression. I'm sure Dan appreciates that being tossed out there in the public. She was in emotional distress. She felt alone. I was her lifeline. Blah, blah, blah. Terrible story, but...
Yeah, apparently one of the things is they wanted their kids to go to college, which was...
Oh, yeah, you got to shun them.
Yeah.
You got to turn your back on those people. How dare they?
Yeah, that was frowned upon, I guess, in the witnessry.
I would love to hear from a current or former Tologist or witness.
Yeah.
Send us an email, call us, whatever, and just explain how that is explained away. Because it just seems like this makes zero sense at all. I would love to hear from somebody go, oh, here's how they sell it, here's why you buy it, and how this is explained away.
No, it sounds like a complete threat. Oh, you're going to leave? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
We're going to do this to you.
Yeah.
How is that right?
Dude, anytime I hear religion and you hear threats or
extortion
or
or child molestation,
I no longer think church.
Or killing in the name of.
I think cult. You are now a cult. You are no longer a religion. You are a cult. You know? Heather Graham. I like Heather Graham.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while, man.
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
Boogie Nights was awesome.
Yeah,
no,
but
she's done some stuff recently.
Harking back to Boogie Nights every time.
I know,
but it's the
Roller
scene.
Girl.
I know, I get it. Totally get it.
You remember Jeff Otis?
Yes.
You know Jeff. She was at his wedding.
Really?
With one of the Beastie Boys, yeah.
Okay.
While he married some long divorce, but years ago. I always found that funny, like Heather Graham and Ad Rock at your wedding. How dope would that be?
Yeah.
I mean, she's accused, playwright Israel Horowitz forcibly kissing her after she ended her relationship with his son, Ad Rock, in the 80s. She was on Mark Maron's What the Fuck podcast. And
you're speaking of none other than the King, Ed Rock.
King Ed Rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs, they call me sire. The one and only.
Wanted to make sure.
She dated Adam when she was 18 or 19. After I dated Adam, we broke up. I auditioned for one of his plays. We're talking about Israel, one of Israel Horowitz's plays. And after the audition, he was like, "Oh, let me walk you out." She gets in the elevator, and he just pushes me against the elevator and sticks his tongue down my throat. Oh, Israel.
Could there be a more Jewish name than Israel Horowitz?
No. Nope.
No.
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 No. Rosenstein,
Rosenstein. Yeah, but if you don't have Israel on the front end of it, is there a Jewier first name than Israel?
No.
I'm not aware of it if there is. Mazel Tov?
Herschel?
Herschel's not bad. So, yeah, I get out of the elevator. I never talk to him again. He's Israel himself is 78 now. He's been accused of sexual assault by 9 women.
Man.
And he did have a comment. He said he had the different... I had a different memory. Can't do a Jewy voice. Different memory of some of these events.
Go a little Bernie Sanders on it.
I apologize.
My view of the circumstances are different.
I'm telling you. What happened to the blacks? I apologize with all my heart to the women who have ever felt compromised by my actions. Yeah. And to my family and friends.
Little Mel Brooks. You got it.
Who have put their trust in me. To hear that I have caused pain is profoundly upsetting. Profoundly upsetting to Israel Horowitz.
There you go. You got it.
As is the idea that I might have crossed the line with anyone who considered me a mentor.
Bam.
So in 2017, there were a few ladies who also stepped forward and said, Israel's not a good boy.
Oh, Israel.
Israel Horowitz. Kathleen Nickel cornered her, kissed her, stuck his hand down her pants against
Nobody
her will.
wants that.
She was working as a subscription manager of the Gloucester Theater in Massachusetts. Poor Jocelyn Meinhardt, high school girlfriend. He forcibly kissed her in the car, which, it's your girlfriend. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Until then, he took her home and raped her at the family home when she was 19. Frederick Gifford.
Hold on. What year was this? It's Israel's girlfriend. She's 19.
Adam's high school girlfriend.
Oh, Adams. Okay, so
Wait.
Adam's going out with this chick.
Oh,
and the dad allegedly rapes her? Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. Frederick Gifford. By the way, Adam came out and said, for the record, I believe all the women.
No shit.
I do not believe my dad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I believe my dad did this. So you got Frederick Gifford, too, an au pair who worked for the family. She claims he forced her hand onto his erect penis in 1991 when she was 16, and then he touched her titties, too. Out of the question, but I would be lying to you if I said I never, placed a hand on my,
There were photos of his exposed penis, erect penis being sent. There were also photos of women's breasts being sent back to him.
Breast. Jana Mitsteksky worked as an assistant and stage manager for him. Forcibly kissed, touched her from behind on the bottom, fondled her tits at work, sometimes answered the door nude when she dropped off scripts. The answer in the door nude thing,
Man, that is a move by a lot of these guys, right?
It's right up there with shunnery. How do you pull that off with any sort of respect? Any. Let's see, just a couple more.
You're playing the numbers game if you're doing that. It's like the Nigerian Prince email.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be deleted by 99.9% of the people.
It's
99.9% of the hotel maids who open the door and you're nude are going to reject you.
Yeah.
One time,
with a Mexican
there's going to be
accent.
this random...
One time, maybe, some tranny will jump in on it. I don't know.
Do you respect the guys that play the numbers game? I don't either. Like,
so stupid.
there are guys out there that will go to a bar and be like, hey, you want to go fuck?
Yeah.
And they'll get slapped 99 times.
Okay,
and then
whatever. Go to the next one.
Once, some girl's going to go, okay.
That's a lame play.
I agree. But there's a lot of people who have done it.
Do you know that Heather Graham was from Milwaukee?
I did not know
I would
that.
not have guessed that.
Mm-mm.
She's not done much recently.
No. Kim Senko, he once threw her against a wall and stuck his hand down her pants as she was just trying to close up the theater. You poor ladies. Elizabeth Dan was an understudy on the play that Senko worked on. She claims he told her to practice her monologues while masturbating and stuck his tongue down her throat. When she asked what he was doing, he told her, respond in character. We got last one here, Maia Ermansons. She's known him since she was a child. He groped her titties, stuck the tongue down the mouth thing, and then made her sit on his lap when she was 21 and he was 77 last year. Oh, Israel.
Yeah, she'll go for your old dick. No problem.
Yeah, she's probably into it too. Israel Horowitz.
Gross old little todger.
Oh, so bad. So bad. Anyway, let's take a quick break, Jay. And try to lighten things up a little bit. Sound good?
Sure.
We'll do that next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, TDC listeners, this is Kelly from the Hamlin Pubs inviting you to our 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for a great night with that special someone, it's always a great time at our Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and our 2 Shelby Township locations. Hamlin Pub also offers party packages. We are the perfect spot for that rehearsal dinner, graduation, birthdays, or other events. For more information about our locations, including live entertainment calendars, go to hamlinpubs.com. Hope to see you soon, Detroit Cast listeners.
Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. And, well, did it again yesterday, Jay.
What'd you do?
Well, I got onto Twitter and started fighting people. Started getting in fights.
About what?
Pushing buttons and stuff.
Donald Trump and guns, no doubt.
Yeah. I was going into the Lions Den. I was going into their world. Mm-hmm. And usually I'll make a tweet, and then someone will respond to me, and then it's on.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
They'll walk into my den,
right.
slap me, and then I'll fucking. You want to go? Let's go.
So
want
are
a
you
bare knuckle?
Full on trolling at this point? Because if you're saying you're going into the Lions Den, I mean, are you purposely going in then?
I went into their house and I didn't slap anybody, but I was just poked them a little bit.
Appropriately hashtagged.
Well, it was like I would read something and it popped up my feed. I didn't go seeking it out. It showed itself to me, and I couldn't help but respond. And it was something like, once this is over and the collusion is proved and treason, I want this guy hung. He should rot in jail or be killed at blah, blah, blah. And then all these people are like, yeah, hell yeah. And, can't wait for our hero, Bob Mueller, to finish his investigation. Then we'll finally get this treasonous rat killed like he deserves. And so I simply just went, I think you're going to be really disappointed when this is all said and done.
Oh, man, that's all it took.
And then it was like, you son of a bitch. How dare you?
That's all is that really like all you, for real?
I literally went, I have a feeling you're going to be pretty disappointed when this investigation's over. Just trying to temper, just calm down. Don't get your hopes so high. It's like the kid who wishes for everything on Christmas, but his parents are broke as shit.
You didn't hashtag MAGA?
No. And then, but now, by simply saying that, I am a Trump apologist. I am a Trump lover.
How fast were there, honestly, that people
instantly
responded to you? And is that what they were saying?
Oh, yeah. Trump lover. And my favorite is, Mike, if you're not with us, you are against us, and you don't belong here, you're not welcome. Please don't come back again.
Get out of our echo chamber,
Yes. Which is exactly what I said. I said, wow, do you even hear yourself right now?
I thought that's what you're against.
You wanna be in your own little echo chamber where nobody can say anything that you don't fully agree with? And so I'm getting it. And the other thing I was having fun with was how many of these dumb shits were posting like treason. Mm-hmm. And so I was like,
the buzzword of the day.
Hey, you might want to look up treason, the wartime crime.
Might want to Bing it.
Yeah, if you could just quickly Bing the actual definition of treason, it might prevent you from looking like a moron like you are right now. And I did say moron, and I called another one dumb, and maybe someone an asshole. But not much more than that. It didn't go that far. But I was like, dude, seriously, you sound like a fucking moron when you say something as ridiculous as treason. Treason is the definition of treason, and this is purposely done, is very, very narrow and specific because it was done on purpose, written that way, because they didn't want treason to be used as a political weapon against your opponent. That you can just go, treason. So it's very specific. It's a wartime crime. It in no way applies to Trump. So if you're one of those people that's going, treason, it's not happening. Period. And so I'm just an asshole and whatever else. And it reminded me, it's funny because I don't know if you saw 60 Minutes over the weekend, Jay, but Oprah did a whole 2-part piece.
Okay.
Remember I don't know.
I do remember Oprah.
Remember her? Black woman. Yeah. Color of Purple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had a show.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. At one point she did. I think did pretty well too, until it was canceled, I think, for loss of rating. I don't know.
Canceled?
It was the #1 show on TV. Do you even know who I am? But she, 6 months ago, or a year ago, when the election had just happened, they went to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they got Grand Valley State University's hockey coach, who was hilarious, big Trump fan. So they got 14 people in a room. 7 of them voted for Trump, 7 of them didn't, and they fucking hated each other. And they're trying to hash it out, have a discussion, keep lines of communication open. That was the point of the interview. Well, unbeknownst to Oprah, this group of 14, they were going to do this again in another part of the country, interview people and see if they could, discuss their differences.
It's all about the dialogue.
It is. Open dialogue. And what Oprah found out was this group of 14 stayed together, started a Facebook group together, closed group, and discussed everything together. And they would scream at each other, yell at each other, but they would hear each other out.
Interesting.
And then the hockey coach invites all of them to a hockey game, and so they all go to the hockey game. These anti-gun people are like, this guy's like, hey man, why don't you guys come to the range with me? And they got these people like they're shooting guns. Now this woman owns a gun, and so it just showed that if you look at someone as a human and not as just like someone with an opposing view who's out there, you can really accomplish stuff. And so one of the questions posed to this liberal, just like butch haircut, looks like a ball of fun. She'd be a ball of fun on the weekends, right?
An adjunct professor somewhere.
With the glasses and the whole thing. And just
women's studies. It's chilly down there. Just chilly.
Chilly. Frosty.
Overgrown and chilly.
Frosty. Bring your gloves if you're going to go down on that. You know what I mean?
You ever seen an over-iced willow tree? That's what we're talking about.
Yes, an unkempt, overgrown willow tree, frozen to the bone. And so it was like, well, how has this helped you? This Facebook group being together, how has it changed you? And her answer was something like, well, I've learned a lot from the group because when Trump was elected president, I deleted every single friend or person that I knew that voted for him or in any way tried to defend him. I am not with him or with them. And so I deleted all of them.
Your vote was a hate crime.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
And so, and she's like, so now, I'm not just in this corner where I'm just hearing from my friends who all believe what I do, and I'm actually stuck.
Eureka.
Listening. And it's like, yeah, that's the point. How does no one see that? How do the people have trouble seeing this?
As Trey Gowdy so wisely said, I see multiple sides to issues.
There you go. Smart man, that Trey Gowdy. You see Michael Moore today?
Yeah, dude. The guy went to one of these fake Trump rallies, right? Yeah. Anti-Trump rallies?
Yeah.
Organized by none other than Russia?
Yep. Prosecutors said that the Russians indicted for meddling in the campaign were also behind anti-Trump rallies that were happening right after the election. And so the defendants...
I thought the line from the right was that nobody went to these things. They were just total failures. But now they're saying that Michael Moore was that one?
Yeah. It was of course, they had organized a November 12th, Trump is not my president rally.
Hashtag.
In New York City. And it was a strategic goal of theirs to sow discord in the system. And so November 12th, same day of the not my president rally, Michael Moore tweeted, at today's Trump Tower protest, he wouldn't come down. Approximately 25,000 people turned out for that.
Well, how does that square? Honestly, all I heard from the right last weekend was, 13 indictments here. They were trying to sow discord, but nobody went to these rallies.
Well, the ones, though, if you remember, right after the president was elected, those ones were because nobody really thought he was going to be elected. And so it doesn't surprise me that in New York City, days after the election, you could gather.
Yeah, no, me either. I'm just pointing out the bullshit nature of the reports over the weekend, I guess, from the right.
Yeah, well.
Mike, I thought you said you were going to lighten things up before the break. I have some lighter news. I have some better news.
You do?
It's from our
I bet I have lighter news.
It's regarding our redundantly named friend, Peter Wang.
I bet I have lighter and fluffier news. But I'll go with yours first.
Well, the Army, a spokesman for the U.S. Army, announced that junior ROTC heroism medals are going to be given to cadets Elena Petty, Peter Wang.
Peter, please, Peter.
And Martin Duque. Duke, however you say that.
Duque? Is it D-U-K-E?
D-U-Q-U-E.
Oh.
Duke?
The Duque Blue Devils. I think they might be a one seed.
He did not just say Duque for D-U-K-E.
D-U-Q-U-E.
Duque. I like it.
So yeah, Peter gets a medal at least.
Peter,
maybe he doesn't get full military
want a fucking
burial.
medal, dude. Full military honors and burial.
That's yet to be determined.
All right. It's a start. And they probably haven't hit 100,000 yet. Well, maybe they have. That story went around yesterday, so he'll get it.
Yeah, they're saying 43,700.
Some of our military guys, I know there's a lot of military guys out there that listen to us. I would love to get your guys' opinion on what that means. If
I bet they want it to be pretty exclusive.
Yeah, I kind of have that feeling too, but I don't know that it would shock me if they went, you know what, man, in instances like this, we don't mind making an exception. I could see it going either way. So, but I know there's a lot of you guys listening and would love your opinion on that. I got one of my old partner texted me, and he was talking about.
It's
the Beagle.
No. When I was on the beat in Redford, my old cop partner, and he was listening to our show yesterday, and he was talking about the lady that was like, I need your paper and prove who you are, like that bitch
Brutal.
that got killed. He's like, the people that don't recognize police are comedy gold. We've had multiple stops where they give us some bullshit homemade document. It might turn into Tyson fighting an idiot. It's hilarious. An infant. He said it's hilarious.
That's a thing. No, people, it's gone around the internet. Yeah, just print this thing out and then present it to the cop as your statement of non-recognition.
Some people will give us their credentials that look like my kid drew it in crayon. The back of your head, it's awesome because this story ends with someone being dragged out of the window of their car.
You know that the whole time.
Yeah.
Trying to stay calm, but
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You know how this story ends.
Hey, dude, were you... I think I've asked you this before, but were you a Frederick Rogers fan growing up?
You know what I liked? I liked the Land of Make-Believe, dude. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I always...
Did he have Mr. Cream Jeans or something with him?
Green Jeans was on
that was
Kangaroo.
That was
Ruian. I think it was.
Yeah.
God,
who was the mustachioed guy?
Rue.
No. That was on with Frederick. Like the handyman or something.
Sure. I'm not sure. I loved when the trolley came around.
Yeah, I was a fan of the trolley,
and he was going to take us to that make-believe land, but then I was always left disappointed. I always thought, you know what? This damn king and this stupid princess or whatever, the interaction was never that compelling.
Yeah.
Mr. O'Feeney or something like Mr. O'Feely?
Yeah, Touchy-Feely or something.
Mr. Touchy-Feely.
Yeah,
yes, there he is.
What was
David Newell as
McFeely.
Mr. Touchy-Feely.
Yeah, Mr. Touchy-Feely McFeely.
Yeah, and he'd deliver the post.
Right? Yes, exactly. Boy, this is hard to say, but was there any part of you that was just a little bit fucking creeped out by Frederick?
Definitely.
Fred Rogers.
I was confused by him a little bit.
Yeah, there was just, I don't know what it is, because by all accounts, he's a saint of a man. Absolute, went to his death, a saint of a man.
The whole, won't you be my neighbor?
The cardigan.
Yeah.
And his mom made those cardigans for him, most of them.
Then he'd put on those sissy little tennis shoes.
Yeah, he'd take
the
off
house shoes.
Yes, dude.
Hi, boys and girls. And it was just, like,
Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hi, neighbors.
There was just something
it was
like...
douchey. It was cringy. Even as a 6-7-year-old, you sensed, like,
Yeah, it was just...
I don't want to be alone with him.
Right. Would it have shocked you if, like, 12 years after it's run, like 10 kids came out and went, hey, finger my butt, It never happened, and nobody has anything but wonderful things to say about him.
I always thought, too, even as a young lad, that his attempt to get comfortable was somewhat futile.
I know. Like, he was still wearing the tie and shit.
Yeah, so you put on a sweater and change into these douche shoes, and all of a sudden you're like maximum comfort. But, come on, man. Throw in some sweatpants or something.
Yeah, some shorts and a tank top.
Hoodie.
He had the freaking the shoehorn, right? That's how he... Didn't he always use the shoehorn?
I don't know if he had a shoehorn, but maybe.
I don't know they did, but you're
God,
absolutely
pleasant,
right.
Doesn't he?
It was a comfort move. That was the explanation. Yet we're buttoned to the neck with a tie on.
You're not
even
very
loosened.
least loosening the tie.
I mean, even if he would have just dropped that tie knot down an inch or two and popped that top button, you go, all right.
Yeah, he's like signaling it's fun time, and this is how you signal fun.
Yeah. Well, he celebrated his 50 years.
He did? I thought he was dead, dude.
He is. He didn't celebrate.
In fact, aren't they coming out with a movie starring one Thomas Hanks?
Yes. You're absolutely right. It premiered yesterday, February 19th, 1968.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And they say that, on paper it looked like a typical children's program, black and white. Its premiere, it quickly blew up. And they say what was so great about him was that he was really the first adult that was talking to kids about real issues. Like, he was still talking their level. He wasn't yelling at kids, but he was able to discuss real world topics with them, like the world's a dangerous place.
Did this open the door to the Dudley and the Bike Shop episode?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, probably did lead the way.
Groundbreaking.
Absolutely. I mean, at least made it possible to do.
Without
Dudley
Fred
and the Bike
Rogers,
Shop.
there is no Dudley in the Bike Shop.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No question about it. Yeah, they say in the after Sandy Hook, one of the community of Newtown clung to Rogers' words for comfort. When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. You can see Fred dropping that, right? He's a dependable figure we can fall back on that makes us safe. He's the good in the world. There's a forever stamp coming out with Frederick Rogers on it this year. That's been announced. He's got a biopic with Tom Hanks coming out. And several years later, you know who people compared him to? Was Bob Ross. Robert Ross.
Happy Little Trees?
Happy Little Trees, Bob Ross.
How do you compare those two?
I don't know.
Totally different genres.
Those are on Netflix, by the way, some of them.
Really?
Yes, you can watch. I don't know if it's the whole
Dude,
catalog.
That was half
but
my college life, either General Hospital or Bob Ross.
But
it was entrancing.
But they were both kind of like, I don't know about that guy. Kind of that feel. You know
I didn't
like,
know about that hair.
Yeah, Bob Ross. He pulled it off.
I don't know, Bob Ross. I don't have it because you just assumed he was a hippie, right?
Yeah,
You probably just assumed he was a kind of
child molester. No way.
Probably just smoked a little pot,
Sure.
maybe doing a little. Yeah, man, just whatever.
It was amazing how he formed those trees, wasn't it?
It's incredible.
My God, there's nothing there. There's nothing on the canvas, and then all of a sudden there's a freaking forest.
My question: did you ever try to paint with him? Because he would grab your paint, kids, and let's paint. We can do this together.
That's the point.
And I was like, dude, there's no fucking way I'm making my water look as glassy as yours with a mountainscape above it. I couldn't do the cloud.
That's the thing. Was that supposed to be for people like? We were supposed to go along with him. Follow.
You could.
I mean, because
I think that's how it started. Then it just became a stoner's haven.
Yeah,
because he just had that whole palette, even and all the colors, and he would just.
He was just magical. Anyone can do it. You just got to practice.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I can't do that.
No, I love this aspect of it though. The model of the neighborhood and everything.
Yeah.
I really dug that as a kid.
The show's content, they say, may have been ordinary, but the timing of Mr. Rogers was very much not. The emergence of Fred Rogers debuted a month after the Vietnam War's Tet Offensive began. And it ran reliably every weekday through the rest of that year through the My Lai massacre that March and the assassination of Martin Luther King and Bob Kennedy.
The nation needed Fred Rogers.
We did. The program ran for nearly 33 years, although there was a hiatus between 76 and 79. And I don't know what that was, if Fred got caught doing something and they had to suspend him.
If he did, it got swept under the rug pretty well.
Back then you could, yeah. Anyway, PBS ran Mr. Rogers for years, and Bob Ross. And while I was reading stories about him, Fred had a song about the garden in your mind. You know, just think about it and it'll grow.
Yeah.
And they did a remix for it. They did a remix for Bob Ross too. And it's so funny seeing like Fred Rogers remixed through PBS. Go ahead.
Sweet.
You have it there.
Hey neighbor, welcome again to this neighborhood.
Getting comfortable. Hell yeah.
I'd like to show you something. You know what this is? Maybe if I press this button.
It's a cassette recorder.
This is a cassette player with a little cassette in here, and there's nothing written on it, so we'll just have to play it.
Well, that's dangerous.
See what it is.
That's
Do you ever imagine things? Are they scary things? Do you ever imagine things?
How dope is this, dude?
You'd like to have. Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark and wonder what they were? Did you ever pretend about things like that before? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.
Awesome.
How badass. I think this goes on for a couple more minutes.
Imagine every person that you see is somewhat different from every other person in the world. Some can do some things, some can do others. Did you ever think of the many things you've learned to do? Many things.
Hard hat and a cherry picker. Oh, Rogers.
You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.
Where's the beat drop?
Yeah,
Pretty good, man.
they could use a beat drop.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Let's give the fish some food. Mr. McFeely.
There he is.
Big touchy-feely.
Order any whistle.
Fred's playing a slide whistle.
That's what they call a slide whistle.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yes, it's great.
There are so many things to learn about in this world, and so many people who can help us learn, and so many people who can help us.
You can find it.
Ever grow anything in the garden
We can
of
post
your
this on
mind?
our page today.
And by the way, all the videos we watch on the show and comment on, they're always in our post
Yeah.
at DetroitCast.com.
If you're looking for the Mr. Rogers remix, that's Garden of Your Mind.
Man, there will never be another Mr. Rogers, you know?
Dude, there really won't. They said they're trying it now.
No way.
They've got like a plush tiger that's apparently, and I'm like, that's not even close to Mr. Rogers, though. I don't know if you could pull off a Mr. Rogers now without parents being
Time and a
creeped
place.
out.
Yeah, he definitely has a creepy aspect to him.
Yeah.
And it was so slow. You know, it was so, what is this? And I remember even as a kid, like, come on, Fred, let's get it going.
Yeah.
That's a tape recorder. I know. Let's go.
Yeah. What's this? It's blank.
Yeah,
Why don't we
dude.
put it in? Yeah, it was meant for really young kids, I think. Like, I don't remember watching a ton of Fred Rogers, to be honest with you. I was more, I don't know what I was more, Sesame Street maybe? But I don't think I watched a ton of Sesame Street either. I don't know.
Hey, if you don't own a truck, winter sucks, that's for sure. Who can help? Our friends at Zott Ford and Holly. Beat the winter blues by leasing a brand new loaded 18 F-150 Super Cab 4x4 as low as $131 a month. This isn't a base model bullshit truck. This is a Ford F-150 four-wheel drive with all the toys, and it's only $131 a month. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, did you see for the first time in 10 years, General Mills is introducing a new marshmallow shape?
Yeah, man.
For me Lucky Charms.
Yeah. I'm in Lucky Charms.
E, you're going to love this. E, you're going to love it.
I know.
I heard. Did you hear what it is? E?
Yeah, I know what it is.
It's a unicorn, white with blue and purple colors.
I do agree, even though I don't eat.
That's a badass addition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I endorse it.
Well, they added one because it was like, okay, you can't just throw a unicorn in there without. They always eliminate one. It's like Crayola.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
I don't think they
You
ever
throw in
wanna
a
do
purple
that.
horseshoe and you get rid of. I don't believe that to be true.
It is true. But
since when?
Crayon laid this model down a while ago. Remember we had
Crayola.
Yeah, the yellow, the dandelion, or whatever they got rid of.
Yeah.
Which I got right, by the way, in my guess.
I guess they introduced because
too many violets, but whatever.
So you've got hearts, stars, horseshoes, clovers, blue moons, rainbows.
Me Lucky Charms!
And the red balloons. Now they added the hourglass not long ago. I think that was voted in.
I was unfamiliar. That happened without my knowledge.
Yeah. So which one has to go? I mean,
hourglass. I think that sucks.
Yeah,
Or
hourglass.
red balloons.
They're ditching
Honestly.
hourglass.
Okay.
Hourglass is getting the shit out of there. Get out of the box.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that. So that's been phased out. You'll start seeing the magical unicorn more and more now. And they had a statement there.
Unicorns
from,
are huge right now.
Huge.
I'll have to say.
Absolutely huge. Well, they're magical. They did have a comment, General Mills did, and our goal is to not only create a cereal that families and cereal fans will love and enjoy, but to inspire magical possibilities, help spark imagination and fun no matter what the age. See, I thought their goal was something different than inspiring.
Yeah, I thought they wanted to sell cereal.
Yeah.
A lot of sugary cereal. Addict kids to it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they almost have an obligation to their board,
They
really,
do.
don't they?
To their shareholders.
I mean, do you think the shareholders would call an emergency meeting and go, DeWitt, what the fuck are you talking about? Your goal is not to
Got it all
inspire
wrong.
magical possibilities and help spark imagination.
No, they would be happy with
for
that
fun.
statement because you don't want to just go out there and say, we're just trying to sell sugar to kids. You want these statements. They'd be fine with that statement.
He's asking for nuance.
Well, maybe they just want to, make sure we're on the same page here.
Well, on the back end,
hey,
maybe.
DeWitt, into the office. Now, just to be clear, that was bullshit when you said that the goal here is to inspire magical possibilities and spark imagination and fun.
You know that's not the goal, right, DeWitt?
Guys, shit. I can't say our goal is selling sugar to children.
Now I got
Come on. What the fuck, guys?
Okay.
We've been through this. I don't give a shit about inspiring magical possibilities in anything but our wallets. You know this. How dare... I'm insulted by the Inquisition.
When you said at the beginning of the story, you know what General Mills said? I'm thinking, General Mills? I had a My Cat moment. I'm like, who is General Mills again?
He's switching
Trump
gears
appointee?
quick. He's switching gears. We're on the battlefield now? Right out of
We went from
Rogers?
Rogers to the battlefield. God, we going North Korea here?
Seems like an odd choice of story selection. Wow.
Hey, Hamlin Pubs are inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations.
Jay, how are we doing with the email?
You know, we do have some email, but I also, before we get to that, I did want to thank the listener who sent me some legumes. I've received some plants in the mail, and I will
for your garden?
My little sweet pie and me, my tiny girl!
Tiny girl!
We'll be
Is that for the
planting these.
garden
That
of your
is for the
mind?
garden. It's not in the garden of your mind. That's for the garden in my backyard. We also received posts.
What are legumes?
Beans, man. These are magical beans. You talk about magic. Yeah, Jack and the Beanstalk.
All right.
We also received posts.
Oh, for fuck's.
No, you're going to like this. Well, I don't know if you're going to. Mike and Jay, even though the pics on this card may be vintage, I would agree with you, Mike. I think this one even tops the boobs card that I sent from Germany. There is a separate card on the way for E. Enjoy.
Hold on. He sent a cleavage card from Germany.
Yeah.
He did not send a boob card, right?
Great
I don't
point.
mean to be...
But in his defense, this actually is vintage cunts from Amsterdam. I mean, I don't
Holy
think you could
shit.
say otherwise. That's
Wow.
about, I don't know, how many? 25
4, 8.
gross snatches?
21.
21?
Holy
Wow.
shit. If you had to pick one.
Oh, God. I'll have to look at it later.
I've got 2 in mind.
Are there any that are somewhat shorn?
Well,
trimmed in any way?
I'll tell you what I'm doing here. I'll shore it up.
Are you going labia? Are you looking past? It's like when Realtor Doug Steiner takes you into the house. He says, "Look past the paint."
Yeah.
Look past the countertops. Mm-hmm. You got to look at the whole place, the whole structure. Is that what you're doing?
I'm looking at this butt down here because it's wide. I know what I'm getting. Not thrilled with it, but I know what I'm getting. This is the other one, but this could be opening a present and a snake could jump out and bite you. I don't know what's.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and
she
lot
appears
of these.
trim and svelte, and the bush isn't so obnoxious that it's like it turns it off completely. But if you open those legs, I don't know.
It's vintage. Thanks, Mike. Oh,
Yeah.
and Mike, your other card to E did in fact arrive. Here it is, Black Power. You've got a black guy with an enormous dong holding up 2 cans of something?
3. Yeah.
3 cans of beer.
Wow. Nice, E.
That also is from Amsterdam.
Well, if you want to keep that, put it on your wall at home. Tack that thing up. Go ahead.
Jesus. Masturbate to it, whatever you do. Hey, if you want to write into the show, send your thoughts to email@detroitcast.com. On to email proper, Mike.
Very good.
Kevin writes in, take a knee, E, please ride a bike, Mike, and closet time fast, Mr. Detroit Cast. After enjoying my freeze worth for roughly 500 episodes, I decided to step up to the plate, show support by using one of your fine sponsors. I am starting my own trucking company, and the federal government requires quite a substantial investment in insurance. So after I found out the insurance company I've been paying premiums to for the past 20 years was absolutely no help in my newfound business venture, I remembered hearing about Brent Wasik on the show. So I called and talked to Stephanie at Wasik Insurance. Over the last 2 months, Stephanie has answered all my questions except for one. Where's Brent? Seriously, I had to have called or emailed 100 times. I always get Stephanie. I'm not sure there is a Brent. I think Wasik Insurance is in fact Stephanie. She did everything to get me insured so that I can get my company started. Stephanie is awesome. So I recommend listeners call Wasik Insurance, but don't expect to talk to Brent. There probably isn't even a Brent. Talk to Stephanie. She's great.
Wow.
Kevin.
You'd have to have a man on the name of the business, right? You couldn't, I mean...
Stephanie Wasik Insurance.
I was going to say it's shameful if this poor Stephanie, brilliant insured... if she felt like no one's going to take me serious as a woman, so I got to have a man's name on the front of the building. That's a shame if that's what's going on.
You know what she's doing?
I swear I've met Brent before, but... now that I think about it.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen Brent and Rand Paul in the same room?
I have not.
See?
And last time I saw Brent, he did appear to be sore.
Sore in the rib area?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, one Brent Wasik happens to chime in with a post from Barbados. So there you go, Kevin. Brent was in Barbados enjoying these mating turtles.
Wow.
He says,
excellent.
Congratulations on 1,000. Go wild, says Tara and Brent. And
nice.
Give us each $5. They're in the
dinner for tonight.
The Wasicks are in the fine habit of sending us cash per our request that we be sent cash.
Yeah,
in the mail.
Dude, I can't split this in half, Jay, and give you $250. I'll have to get two twos and a one. Yeah, and then we can split it up. All right.
No, thanks, Kevin, for using our sponsors. Obviously, that's the lifeblood of this show. If that doesn't happen, this show doesn't happen. So,
that's right.
Great work, and I'm glad Stephanie took care of you. Jeff with a G writes in. Podcast Bards, congrats on 1,000 episodes, gents. I was a bit apprehensive at hearing it was going to be a clip show. We children of the 80s know that the clip shows were always the worst episodes of our favorite shows.
Yeah, yeah.
But I like the clip shows you picked, or the clips you picked, and hearing the stories behind them. I am one of the many who has listened to all 1,000 episodes, and I realize that means I've spent 1,500 hours or more listening to you guys. That's what you'd be spending working a 40-hour week job Monday through Friday for like 9 months. Just to listen to all of them. So I know you guys spent so much more time making them for us, and I'm glad you did. It's been a nice connection back home now that I've moved even further into the horrid state of Ohio. Oh, Jeff with a G. I'm sorry to hear it. Now, on the subject of opiates versus opioids.
Hold on. And he's right. Clip shows, and we're very familiar with clip shows from growing up. We were mindful of that when we picked these ones. We picked those bits specifically because we thought they'd play well.
Well, and in those stupid
Like,
clip shows, like he says, there was added commentary on kind of background stories. Those ridiculous clip shows would just be, you know.
I think the more apropos criticism of the clips we chose are that they've been chosen for best ofs in the past.
Yeah.
And that they really didn't dig that deep. I've heard that criticism. I won't say from who.
Say it. From who?
A lot of people. I'd have to go through my emails.
Well, give us a break.
Bob, John, Ricky, and Mike. On the subject
Fuck those guys. It took a lot of work to put that together.
On the subject of opiates versus opioids, I think the difference is that opioids, he thinks this. He didn't bing this. He thinks this. I think the difference is that, quote, opiates are derived from opium and other chemicals derived from it, whereas opioids are not actually derived from opium, but designed chemically to bind the same receptors that opiates do, making them opiate-like, but not actually opiates. That's probably also why they initially thought they were making something less addictive than opiates. Did they think that?
No, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Like morphine, heroin, etc. They thought they were making it similar enough to opiates to relieve the pain, but different enough to avoid the addictive, psychoactive properties. I guess we see how that went.
No, but they say opioids, and they include heroin in that.
I know.
So it doesn't. That doesn't
It's become the catch-all.
Yeah, it is. No, there's another reason. It's Isis Dice all over again, and I want to know.
Yeah, but I suspect, Jeff, that you've binged this, or you're an addict yourself.
Oh, perhaps.
Didn't want to go there.
Perhaps.
We know plenty of those, don't we, Mike? Also, heard you mention being in Cleveland, Jay. We moved here to the land of the Cleve last month for the wife's job, and this weekend I took my kids to the Science Center, which is next door to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Saturday. Had I known your proximity...
He was right there.
Dude, I walked through the Science Center after I parked.
He could have run into the King and Russell.
Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
Running into somebody in the land of the Cleve. Had I known your proximity, I might have shot an adult beverage your way. Oh, and I would have accepted. And a suitable non-adult one for Russell, too. We haven't made it to the Rock Hall just yet, though. Goodbye, BUI Jeff. Yeah, you should get there, Jeff. It's cool.
Would that have been an acceptable time to give Russell his first adult beverage? Just a boy, proud father and his boy out together, out on the town, taking in some historic,
Listener Jeff with a G walks up.
Yeah, and it's like...
Yeah.
Just like Clark did, and
actual Clark and Russ, yeah, they shared
probably
it
the same way Russ would fucking crush it just like he did. You get the beer back.
Good talk, Dad. We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
Very good. You know what? I do have a couple extra stories. You guys want to? Do you have a few minutes extra? We can pop into members area.
Our favorite listeners.
Yes. So why don't we pop in there? Members, join us over there. If you're not a member, sign up and join us over there. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. And for the rest of you, we will see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.